Well, Star Fox is real, which means Nate the Hate, the leaker that has been pretty much 100% spot on so far, is continuing to be correct. Now, if you're not catching up on what happened, Nate the Hate actually came out months ago and said a Star Fox game was coming in June and it would be announced in April. Of course, it wasn't announced in April and missed it by just a week, but those things tend to happen. And of course, people are still in my comments talking about, but Nate the Hate said a reveal in April. Literally, a new Star Fox game is coming in June. He was right. No one else was predicting that. How are we arguing this? But this is a pretty big deal, not just for Star Fox, but for everything else as well, because he also mentioned a lot of other games that he heard was coming very soon. He already got Splatoon Raiders as well, because before we got that overview trailer or any information about the game, he said it would be coming this summer, and it's releasing in July. And he also said the same thing about Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. So I feel like that means Fire Emblem is definitely coming in August. At least that makes the most sense to me. When you have Yoshi the Mysterious Book this month in May, next month we have Star Fox, and for July we have Rhythm Heaven and Splatoon. I feel like Fire Emblem in August, if it's still hitting that summer time frame, is just a given. Now, Nate also says there's going to be some sort of Switch Sports game coming out this summer. Now, I'm guessing with a packed schedule, it's probably going to be a Switch 2 edition of Switch Sports 1, which kind of sucks, but they'll probably just add a couple of sports and, you know, add a $20 price tag or something to get the extra sports, which is, I guess, fine. And apparently we're getting some sort of Switch 2 edition of Pikmin 4, whatever that entails. Probably some new story content and stuff, which sounds like a lot of fun, but we're gonna have to wait and see when that even comes. I can't even really remember when he said this could also be a summer title, or maybe it's just some other part of the year. But there's two other games that Nate the Hate talked about that are huge talks that we gotta bring up now, because if this information is correct, so is the rest of his information. But two quick things before we get started. First, we still have a goal of 400,000 subscribers, and you guys can make that happen. Let's see if we can get over 100 brand new subscribers in this video alone. So all you gotta do is leave a like and subscribe. And second, I want to thank today's sponsor, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. If you love receiving monthly Japanese snacks and cuisines, these are the boxes for you. These boxes are absolutely crammed with so many different types of desserts, sweet treats, and snacks. We gotta dive into some of them. For Tokyo Treat, they focus on more fun, modern Japanese snacks. And this month's theme is Osaka Snacktacular. Some of my wife and I's favorites were these cool cola-themed candy bites and these awesome sushi gummies. It's really cool because you can build your own little gummy sushi, like just gummy rice and fish and stuff, and you can even stack it on top of each other to make a cool little Lego treat. Or these really cool air puff chips that taste like you're eating an actual baked potato. But by far, one of the coolest ones were these whistling candies. Even though it kind of spooked our dog out. Tokyo Treat also has a new Kit Kat flavor every month, and this month is the Gold Salted Caramel Kit Kat, which is, oh my gosh, give me 10 bags. Now the Sakurako box features more traditional artisan sweets and tea. This month's theme for Sakurako is Heritage of Hiroshima. Some of our favorites in this one included these grape-flavored juice-filled gummies. There's also this weird mysterious powder where if you fill with some hot water, it makes this real slimy, juicy, sugary substance. Cake is also my weakness, so of course they gave me a peach-flavored cake, and I just couldn't stop. Look, there was multiple cakes. Don't judge me. Another strange one were these shrimp potato snacks, and they look like French fries, but they're not French fries. But they kind of have the crisp of a French fry. They're really good, try them. But what's really cool is with the Sakurako box, every month they'll give you a nice little dish or a glass, and they also give you a new flavor tea each month, where this month was more of a green herbal tea. And each box comes with its own cultural booklet to show you where each snack originates from. If you're interested in getting your own Japanese snack box today, all you have to do is click the link in the description to get $5 off your first box right now. And I want to give another huge thanks to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring today's video. So the first of the two big games that Nate the Hate brought up was a big remake of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for one of the big holiday games, I'm assuming, this year. This makes so much sense. We've been hearing about this game for so long, and I completely trust Nate that this thing is going to happen. Tons of other outlets and sources have come out and also confirmed this, like Nash Weedle recently just came out and said, yeah, there's going to be a very ambitious remake of this game later on this year, so yeah, I think it's pretty much all but confirmed. But one of the questions is, how is this game game gonna look. I'll probably make an entire video about this alone, but after seeing what they did with Star Fox, a lot of people are worried that they're gonna do the same thing with Zelda, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. Yes, it looks like one of those trailers you're watching now, where it's just Unreal Engine, the brand new RTX drivers set up to the max, and it's so hyper realistic. I honestly don't mind it. I think it would look really good for something like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, but some people also are fearing that they're going to do a Breath of the Wild style. Now that one, however, I'm actually hoping it's not the case, because I hope Nintendo's not doing this Breath of the Wild art style with every future Zelda now. Like, I hope that's just for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and we can move on to something else, because I feel like ultimately they should just go with a new, fresh art style for Ocarina of Time. Something that's a little realistic, but also cartoony, something like maybe even Skyward Sword, but touched up a lot more to look even better, would look really cool in my opinion. But after seeing what they did with Star Fox, there's a couple of things that I want to point out here. For one, keep the character models looking like the characters that they did in 64, but just obviously way upgraded. You don't have to make Link look hyper realistic the way they did Fox and the crew in the Star Fox game, just make it look clean and good. Don't change the structure of the game. It's still a linear 3D Zelda game with dungeons, items, and it's just a classic Zelda game, which of course it's probably going to stay that way. The only thing I would change is maybe adding some rooms or some different things to the layouts of some of the dungeons maybe, and also making the bosses even better. Maybe adding new phases and new parts of the boss battles to make them bigger and better than ever would be great. And one thing that I hate about remakes is they never really seem to add anything. Like, I'm looking at the Star Fox trailer and everything looks really good. I'm glad that they're adding cutscenes and stuff, but they should have definitely added some new planets or something. I hope they kind of do that with Ocarina of Time, whether it be something, whether a boss rush or maybe like an extra temple or dungeon somewhere, maybe some extra areas for the new heart containers they could add. But however this game is going to look, I think this is the perfect way for them to celebrate Zelda's 40th anniversary. We know it's definitely not time for a new mainline game, so simply giving us a really ambitious remake of an old Nintendo 64 game, especially what is looked at as one of the greatest video games of all time, is going to be amazing. Now, of course, I had to save the best for last, because Nate the Hate did mention 3D Mario. He said that 3D Mario was apparently going to be the big holiday game for this year, but it got delayed to sometime next year. I would assume maybe the beginning of the year then? But he has no other information on this. That's literally all he said. So if there is going to be a big 3D Mario, at least to start next year, we should be hearing about it relatively soon, I would think. If there's a big June Nintendo Direct, it could be there, or it could be at the September Direct this year. But regardless, I would like to think we would see it this year. That's all I ask, even if it's just a small glimpse. Please, Nintendo, I'm not losing my mind, I promise. But I think those games right there is perfect to get people's hype back up. A huge remake of one of the best Zelda games ever, and a brand new 3D Mario coming in the pipeline, amongst tons of other stuff as well. Like, I'm sure there's got to be something else for the holiday season outside of a Zelda remake. I would hope so. So could you imagine if they had something like Luigi's Mansion or something this holiday? Oh my gosh, it would be so good. But let me know what you think down below. Are you excited for these possible games to be coming in the next couple of years? And do you still believe Nate the Hate? I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, he's been pretty much spot on. He's continuing to show his trust and show that he is the best leaker in the game right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. See you guys.